Hello, and thank you for joining me for episode 1 of what I'm calling Hitch Tips. And this is brought to you by Suave and Associates, holding down Denver, Colorado. Now, this is inspired by someone by the name of David Coleman. He was actually the inspiration for the movie Hitch, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, featuring Will Smith, which is basically a movie about a guru who gives a lot of gentlemen confidence, much needed confidence, about how to approach the women of their dreams. And the reason why I myself would like to get involved in this is I figure that, David Coleman fulfills a great void with his work, but I think there's also another niche out there. Imagine, when you're out on the town, especially some of those younger guys that are, really into the hip-hop scene, for example, you might be out, and say you see somebody who's attractive to you. So, what criteria do you use to know and understand whether you should approach her or not? Well, here are just a few really basic, simple tips that you should know if you're going to be out at night and what to do. Okay, so first step, when you're out, either with your friends or by yourself, first rule of thumb is before you approach a girl, what I like to do is just wait a second. Just wait a second. One, to make sure she's not with another guy. This is something that I do just to make sure that I'm not going to cause any fights or anything like that. It's not about being a punk. It's not about being chicken or anything like that. It's just about I'm going out to have a good night, so is she, and that's a quick way to ruin a night. Maybe get in the hospital or even get shot, honestly, where I'm from. So that's step one. Make sure, just wait a second, see how she's acting, make sure she's not with another guy. Okay, step two. Now, this is probably the most critical. Before you approach any girl, best thing to do is to try and see if she's noticing you or if she wants you to approach her. Now, how do you do this? One easy way is either if you're walking by her, she's walking by you, kind of look up, Look up. If she makes eye contact with you when she passes, that's kind of a sign usually that she wouldn't mind you saying hi. Or if you're across the room and you notice her, maybe she doesn't notice you, try and move in a position to where you can get in front of her and she might, be able to look at you. So that way, you don't freak her out instead of just kind of rushing her and just approaching her from behind or anything like that. So that's one thing. Try to establish a little bit of eye contact. Now what that does is it puts her a little bit at ease. She gets a chance to look at you, see what your style is. Girls typically, I've heard this, and I think it might be true, is that they can know within probably about 5 seconds of looking at you whether they want to talk to you or not. And so, if you just give her an opportunity to look at you, she'll know, and she'll let you know. I've talked to some girls actually who told me straight up that the way they get guys to come talk to them is to, give them a little look, maybe give them a little smile, or maybe do something with the hair. So girls know what they're doing, gentlemen. So when you hear that, or when you see that, it probably does mean something, especially if it happens more than once. Now, third tip is, and this is a rule that we as men, myself, I violate a lot. If you don't have a reason for not approaching her as soon as you make the eye contact, or maybe a little bit after, then you shouldn't wait too long. So this is probably one of the number one things about women. When a woman wants you, she wants you. She doesn't want to wait. If she gives you that signal, especially if she looks at you a couple of times, and you return it, basically by returning the look, or maybe even smiling, then you need to go be a man and approach her. You don't have to grab her or do anything crazy. Just go up to her and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Something like that. You don't have to use any pickup lines. Remember this, if nothing else, remember this. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's just that you say something, honestly. And another thing is that the reason why you don't want to wait too long is sometimes if you wait too long and another guy goes to talk to her, then you might as well call it quits, because she might look at you as like, oh, this little punk. If you go approach her after this guy approached her, then it makes it look like, oh, this guy only wanted to talk to me after he did, but he couldn't be the man in the first place. So it just doesn't look good on you as a man. You know, if you, like I said, make that eye contact, whatever body language, and you just don't act on it. So those are 3 tips. Calling this Hitch Tips, episode 1, again brought to you by Suave and Associates. Check this out. We'll be doing this more often. Peace.